Indominus Rex, the monster that never existed, and the reason 6 apex predators are on this list, one of which is so real that scientists spent 10 years fighting over how it actually hunted. That's number 4, but it starts here, with 50 feet of engineered nightmare. Dr. Henry Wu built the Indominus inside InGen's labs by blending a Tyrannosaurus base with Velociraptor, Giganotosaurus, cuttlefish, and tree frog DNA. A genetic Frankenstein designed for one thing: ticket sales. And here's what most viewers miss. Its scariest powers were stolen from real biology. Cuttlefish genes gave it camouflage, and real cuttlefish genuinely reshaped their skin using pigment cells called chromatophores. Tree frog DNA let it hide its body heat from thermal cameras. Clever on paper, impossible in reality. You can't bolt cold-blooded traits onto a warm-blooded predator and get a working animal. A genome isn't a mixtape, and it was smart. Smart enough to claw out its own tracking implant, fake its escape, and set traps. But the movie didn't care, and neither did the Indominus, which escaped, killed for sport, and proved InGen's entire business model was building monsters and acting surprised when they got loose. It took a T-Rex, a raptor pack, and something massive in the lagoon to finally kill it. Mosasaurus, the sea monster that stole the show by swallowing the star. In Jurassic World, it erupts from a lagoon the size of a stadium, snatches the Indominus off the dock, and drags it under. A 70-foot leviathan that eats a great white shark like a snack. Incredible cinema. Also a lie. Here's the real science. Mosasaurus was real, and it was an apex predator, but Hollywood roughly doubled it. The film's animal runs around 22 meters. The fossils cap the real Mosasaurus hoffmanni closer to 13 or 14 meters, and some scientists argue even less. Still a nightmare, just not a kaiju. And one more correction the movie both earns and fails. Mosasaurus wasn't a dinosaur at all. It was a giant marine lizard, a cousin of modern monitor lizards and snakes that went back to the sea. The film did get one thing eerily right: the extra row of teeth on the roof of its mouth. Those pterygoid teeth are real, built to stop struggling prey from escaping backward. So the size is fantasy, but the death grip is fact. Meanwhile, back on land, the franchise had already crowned a new king: Giganotosaurus, the dinosaur Jurassic World dug up specifically to dethrone the T-Rex. In Dominion, it's the final monster, a snarling apex villain built to outmuscle the king. And unlike the hybrids, this one actually walked the Earth, roughly 98 million years ago in what's now Argentina. Real numbers: 12 to 13 meters long, longer than a T-Rex, with weight estimates that swing wildly from around 4 tons to over 13, because every figure comes from an incomplete skeleton, and paleontologists have argued about it for years. Its teeth reach 20 centimeters, but flat and blade-like. Carcharodontosaurid means shark-toothed lizard, and that's the point. It didn't crush, it sliced. Deep, bleeding wounds designed to drop sauropods the size of buildings. But here's where the movie lied. Giganotosaurus and T-Rex never met. Not once. Giga lived 30 million years before T-Rex evolved, on a completely different continent. The rivalry Dominion sold you is pure fiction. And the film's genius killing machine? Its brain was smaller than a T-Rex's, and it likely leaned on a powerful sense of smell over raw intelligence. Big, fast, blade-mouthed, and regional. Never the global champion the movie crowned. Speaking of overhyped rivalries, let's talk about the dinosaur that actually beat the T-Rex on screen. Spinosaurus, the dinosaur that killed the king and started a war. 2 of them, actually. In Jurassic Park 3, it snaps a T-Rex's neck on camera, and fans have never forgiven it. But the real Spinosaurus is stranger than any movie. It's the longest predatory dinosaur ever found, around 15 meters, with a sail on its back and a snout full of conical teeth built for gripping slippery fish. And this is the one science spent a decade at war over. Watch the timeline. In 2014, researchers called it the first semi-aquatic dinosaur, a shoreline wader. In 2020, a new tail discovery flipped that. A paddle-shaped tail suggesting it swam underwater like an eel, chasing fish through rivers. Then in 2022, it split into open warfare. One team argued its dense bones worked like a penguin's ballast for diving, while another built digital models showing it was too buoyant to submerge and probably just waited. That fight still isn't settled. Wader or diver, river monster, or shoreline stalker, the experts genuinely do not agree. And every year, the models get rebuilt. And here's the gut punch. The original, most complete Spinosaurus skeleton was destroyed in a World War II bombing raid on Munich in 1944, which is exactly why we're still arguing. We're reconstructing a ghost. But no dinosaur owns this franchise like the one Spinosaurus beat. Tyrannosaurus Rex, the face of the franchise and the animal every other predator on this list is measured against. 12 to 13 meters, up to 9 tons, and a bite unlike anything else that ever lived on land. Powerful enough to crush bone and pulp a car. Over 35,000 newtons of force, driven through teeth built like railroad spikes. Where Giganotosaurus sliced, T-Rex demolished. Real fossils show it swallowed bone whole, and we've found the digested proof. But the movies sold you 2 lies. First, the speed. The original Jurassic Park has it chasing a Jeep at highway speed. Real biomechanics say a full-grown T-Rex couldn't run like that without shattering its own legs. Think fast, terrifying power walk, not a sprint. Second, that famous line about its vision being based on movement. Also false. Studies of its skull suggest T-Rex had excellent depth perception, sharper than a hawk's, plus a sense of smell that could track a carcass from miles away. Standing still wouldn't have saved you. It would have watched you hold your breath. It ruled North America right up until the asteroid ended everything 66 million years ago. The real king, which makes the last predator the most disturbing of all, because we built this one on purpose. Indoraptor, the weapon. If the Indominus was a business decision, this was a war crime in progress. Built in secret in the basement of Lockwood Manor, the Indoraptor is an Indominus Rex crossed with even more Velociraptor DNA. Smaller, faster, around 10 feet, black with a single gold streak, and engineered for one purpose: to kill on command. It locks onto a target lit by a laser and attacks on an audio cue. A programmable predator. And here's the final twist. It was only a prototype. Wu wanted Blue's Blood to build a controllable version because this first draft was too unstable to obey, which is the entire problem with the fantasy. You cannot laser point a living animal into a guided missile. Conditioning is real. A plug-and-play attack dinosaur is not. It's a hybrid of a hybrid, a genetic game of telephone, and it died the way all of Wu's monsters do. Impaled on the horns of a fossil Triceratops skull, killed by a real raptor. And that's the whole point of this franchise. The scariest predators were never the ones we invented. They were the real ones we spent decades getting wrong. Indominus, Mosasaurus, Giganotosaurus, Spinosaurus, T-Rex. Every fake monster on this list was just a rewrite of an animal that actually existed. And the truth was always stranger than the CGI. If you made it this far, subscribe, hit like, and tell me which one you'd least want to meet in dark water. Next time, every dinosaur Jurassic Park got completely wrong, explained by real science.